Hey.
Yo,
What's up, man?
man?
What's up?
How we doing?
Where's Nick Hamilton?
He's that camera right there.
I don't speak until I see Nick's face on the
Feits
fucking
Hamilton.
camera.
There he is.
Yeah, you little fucking sneaky son of a bitch.
All right, I'm gonna go hide now.
Put your pants on.
Run away.
Put
Dude,
your-
what is going on?
What's happening?
What are you
Booyakasha.
doing? Hiding in a corner here? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm in my kitchen.
All right.
You don't want to
Is
get
this more
imagined
to your
yet?
liking, Kevin?
You don't want like people to be like, oh, celebrities, they're in their beautiful backyards again. We've been saying that since
I'm on basic cable, guys. I do not have that much money. You're not.
since that video went viral to start. I've been saying to like almost every celebrity we've had on, I'm like, you're just in the corner right now. We did Kevin Bacon the other day. Kevin Bacon was just sitting in front of a door. That was it.
Oh, why? Are you talking about the Imagine video?
Yeah.
Video? Yeah. No, I do not have a backyard like, I don't know, Lena Dunham or whatever schmuck was on that video. Imagine my backyard.
Eric Andre, you are like the craziest motherfucker I know. I feel like it's just got to be like I feel like it's either stressful to be you or not stressful at all because you're like bulletproof. You can't be flustered. You're always the one fucking with other people. Nobody can fuck with
I'm
you.
sensitive, man. I'm an Aries. I'm a sensitive little flower.
I mean,
Quite the opposite. I'm very touchy.
Dude,
What about this? Is this better? This is.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
Back there. Yeah.
Boom.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna see my bar. I've been drinking a lot over.
Holy
Holy
moly.
Yeah, baby. Let's have a drink.
Were
What
those
have you been
empties?
drinking?
If you like pina coladas, I've been making pina coladas like I'm like a Jimmy Buffett fan. I swear to God, this is
Wait. You're just like in your house making pina coladas?
in my house drinking pina coladas out of a pineapple. I've been buying pineapples, cutting them, like gourding them, and filling them with rum and.
Shut up. No, you haven't.
That's crazy.
I
That
bullshit it up.
Out of all the shit you do, that might be the craziest move.
If you like pina coladas, they're so fucking good. I don't care what anybody says. I'll drink 100 of them to the dome. They're so
Oh.
incredible.
Do you think you're a superhero at all? Like, do you?
No.
'cause
You have a superpower.
you don't. At least you know from
Very-
what I know.
I'm very weak. You should see me without my shirt off. I got like 6 tits like a dog.
Take your shirt off then. Do it, man. Just pop
But you don't have the ability to, or maybe you're great at hiding it, you know. But like you don't have the ability to get embarrassed. Like you are the.
No, I'm embarrassed. You should see me walking around. I mean, I get embarrassed every day.
Maybe
I'm
embarrassment.
flattered you think that, but I'm a sensitive little.
How about awkwardness? Like you don't feel awkward.
I'm awkward. I'm embarrassed.
All right. I can understand that you might feel it, but like normal people walk in a room or a bar or a meeting or an whatever, and they're afraid of like awkwardness. If there's silence, they have to speak, and if someone says something, they have to respond. Whatever. I feel like because you like that's your comedy. I feel like you just know that what's going on there, and you'll never be like out of.
Why do you think I drink 20 pina coladas a day? That's why. It's the cure for embarrassment.
Or you're.
No,
just,
I don't know. I'm flattered you think that, but I am. If you prick me, I bleed or whatever. I'm as human as everybody else.
In that sense, like it sounds like we're reading into it too much. It sounds to me then like your comedy and the pranks or when you make other people feel awkward, is that just like, hey, I'm doing it for a laugh and there's really nothing more like under that? Because to me, it feels like it's this, cerebral, well thought out, like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's joke by joke. Some jokes are like existential and cerebral, and sometimes the fart sound is funny to me. You know what I mean? So I think it's the whole spectrum. I don't know. It's joke by joke.
Do you like when you see kind of, obviously it's like a big trend on, like TikTok in particular, TikTok and YouTube. Like, do you look down on pranksters like that? Or are you like, oh yeah, boys, like hone your craft?
I think it's case by case. I think like pranks shouldn't be mean. Like if it just feels like you're being mean, then it's like not that funny or interesting. But if you're being like absurd and bizarre and you're cramming like absurdity and surreality into reality, then that's interesting to me. And
so how do you think of that? I'm thinking.
I drink a lot of coffee, and I've done it. I try to do acid at least once a year.
Is that true?
I don't, but I try to. I'm a little bit getting kind of too old for acid. That's strong. But I think there's positive effects from a psychedelic experience. At least.
When you say once a year, do you when you try to do it at least, do you pick out like, all right, like July 16th is going to be good. I got a few more months to go.
It's usually July 16th, and I go to the public library, and I just fucking get ripped.
Is that how you're like, all right, I dropped some acid. I saw myself as a fucking centaur carrying around the cake. Like, let's do it.
No, I don't know. I mean, like, I just mean, like, if the question was, where does inspiration come from? It's really coffee more. I think coffee's the best drug on earth. I don't think it's acid. I think that it's really just me and a bunch of comedians. We're in the writer's room, and we're just cracking each other up. And it also comes from experience. We know, like, kind of what to write and what not to write and what's going to work and what's not going to work. So it's experience, and it's like surrounding yourself with good and funny people. I don't do it alone. That's really what it is.
Do you prefer that process, like the being in a room with funny people, or do you prefer the stand-up where you're promoting legalize everything now?
I like it all. It's more fun with the writer's room because it's like a group of 10 of my friends just cracking each other up for a couple weeks. But yeah, that's where 99% of the writing comes from. And then me and my writing partner, Dan Curry, will go through all the notes that we came up with in the writer's room, and we'll kind of pick our favorites, and we'll rehearse them with my director. We kind of, there's a process. It's not completely spontaneous. But then once we're filming, we improvise within the premise of whatever bit we wrote.
How long does the filming take?
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
2 weeks on the streets of New York and 4 weeks in the studio in LA.
Dude, that's way quicker than I thought.
Yeah, it's quick. We don't have that much money. We gotta fucking just gotta shoot.
Even still, though, at this point, like, you know, very successful, people know who you are. You still get all the filming you need to get in that 2 weeks? Because I would imagine at this point, like, some people are onto the joke. Some people know who you are. It's not as easy to get.
Yeah, it's not as easy, but we figured it out. I mean, for season 5, the Eric Andre show that we just did, I gained 20 pounds. I bicked my head bald. I got rid of all my body hair. I waxed. I spray tanned every day. I bleached my teeth. I made myself look like totally insane so that I wouldn't get recognized that much. And then we just avoid the demographic. We don't prank people like in their 20s. We try to prank people in their 40s, 50s.
Really? So like you see like young kids or something, you're just like, nope, not even.
Yeah, I'm not doing hidden camera pranks at like a skate park. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
People will be like, ah!
Do you, I guess you kind of maybe explained this already through like experience, but do you have a feel for like when a prank's going too far? Like we had a guy who used to kind of be associated with us. Now he's trying to make it on TikTok, and he went down in the subway and spilled a giant fucking bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of coronavirus and everything. And I mean, people fucking hated this kid for it. and I feel like honestly,
the MTA came out and was like, this is a
wow.
Like we need to process this. But I feel like if I saw you do that, I'd be like, I don't know, that's kind of fucking funny.
Hey, I did do that like 5 years ago, so now I'm going to sue this son of a bitch for plagiarism. No,
yours. I've seen yours. I saw his, and I was like, that was kind of dickish, man. And I saw yours, and it was the Fruit Loop Factory where you didn't get a job.
Yeah, Fruit Loop Factory. Yeah,
right? And like I was fucking in tears with that. Like, what's the difference?
Why? Why is that?
I think because there was a little. His was just intentionally destructive, so he just went on and spilled shit, and that like the joke ended there. Mm. For me, there was like not to pat myself on the back, but there's like a little more nuance to the joke. I have like a neutered dog cone around my head, a weird Fruit Loops factory, and also my character in that moment's motivated. He's like down in the dumps. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, I have bad news. I did not get the job at Fruit Loops. My body is now your communion. Please eat from me. I didn't just go on and attack people. I had like I was in character, and this character is going through. It was you empathize for that character. He's like being shit on by life, you know? So that little bit of motivation allows me to go to, La La Land, I guess.
Do you think that
I mean, I don't know.
Do you think that means? I think that makes total sense. But do you think that means
motivate? Yeah, you got to motivate your anarchy. I think if you just go out and go, blah, you're annoying. But if the character I'm playing is if their intentions are good, they're just a fuck up. Then it's like this little nuanced thing that motivates the chaos and makes it okay.
That same one, that same skate when you were the highlight guy selling.
Oh yeah,
he was selling hot candy out of the highlight. I don't even know what you're called.
They're called Zisteras or something like that. Words.
He just fucking
fastest ball. That is the fastest ball in any sport, and you can die if it hits you in the head.
Yeah, my Spanish teacher was a former highlight star. That's when I came to America. Señor Garena. Yeah.
No way. Yeah, me gusta la gasolina. Dame más gasolina. Damn, what you drinking, my man? Vodka?
Yeah, straight vodka from the bottle. You know,
what's your drink of choice? I'll tell you a cocktail recipe. I'm learning cocktails. Look at this.
Okay, I'm a bourbon guy.
Bourbon. Okay. Bourbon. You can make a Manhattan. You can make a Brooklyn. There's different variations of the Manhattan. There's the Brooklyn. You need vermouth. It's easy. You don't need too much.
You're in the early stages of drink learning.
Yeah,
I'm in the early stages, but I'm not like a bourbon guy. I like tequila. I like rum. I like gin. I like vodka.
What do you like with gin?
Bourbon's okay, but I usually just splash a little club soda on top.
When you tell people I'm going to hit you with a recipe, and then you say a fucking Manhattan, dude, come on.
I'm a vodka right away. I mean, I actually have to look up. I'd have to look through my little dorky Me Hands cocktail guide cookbooks.
Everyone's got
a real recipe.
What have you been doing with gin? I'm trying to get on the gin game.
Gin is a scary one, bro.
Gin is great. I've been doing there's something called a bramble that I've been making with gin. It's just lemon juice, creme de mure, and I want to say simple syrup and gin.
I had something like that the other day that it also had egg yolk in it.
Oh yeah, gin fizz.
I forget what it was called, but it had that silky taste.
Either Gin Fizz or Ramos Gin Fizz.
Oh, we know it was. Yes, and Gin Fizz is exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So I think this is what a lot of women I saw on social media have been baking sourdough bread during quarantine. Yeah, and I think most guys were like, I'm going to become a mixologist.
Yeah. You got to drink your way through this.
I feel like you're just drinking 15 pina coladas mixed in with some bourbon and some tequila. Are you just shit-faced all day, dude?
I'm pretty much shit-faced right now, to be honest with you. My secret ingredient in all my cocktails, little Vicodin at the bottom.
That'll do it every time.
That'll kick it up a notch.
Yo, do you think that you could get Eric Andre? What would you do if you walked into a talk show or something along those lines?
If I got pranked, if they saw my show and they were trying to fuck with me, I would sniff it out real quick. Mm-hmm. But on my show, Dennis Rodman was almost impossible to prank because no matter what you say to him, he's he's way crazier than anyone you've ever met. So you can't out crazy him.
I think I'm obsessed with him. I've written about him. We had him on the show, and I think the best way, if you just need to say explain Dennis Rodman in a sentence, I think prank proof would be it. He's so out there that he cannot be fucked with. That's him.
And he would be the only celebrity we had. He would only accept cash. Okay, we had to pay him in cash.
Dude, we had him on our show, right? First of all, before he came in, this is obviously pre-quarantine stuff. Before he came into the studio, he had one of his men come up, and by men, I mean he's like a 20-year-old social media guy, and he told the whole office that when Dennis comes in, he prefers to be bowed to, and everyone thought he was kidding. And then Dennis, when he left, he ended up being pissed that we didn't all bow. And then when we sat down, he was in the studio before us. So when we sat down, he didn't even miss a beat. He just goes, "You guys ever watched a horse fuck a girl?" And we were like, "What, man?" and then went on to tell us not just the time he went to one in Mexico, but also the underground horse shows he's found in his travels around America.
In America, you can watch a girl fuck a horse in America. I did not know that.
Oh my god!
He was like taken aback. We were like, really? He's like, oh yeah, Oklahoma's got a bunch, Oregon's got a bunch.
He knows the whole map. Whoa! He told me, I go, have you ever kissed a dead girl? And I meant it as a joke question. And he was like, yeah. yeah, I kissed my friend. She died. I kissed her on the lips. And I go, at the funeral? And he was like, no. And I was like, what?
That is.
Where else would you have access to a corpse, and why would you kiss that corpse on the lips? That's fucking dark and weird.
No. Yeah, that there's no more follow-up questions there. Like, okay, next topic. Oh, he's crazy, man.
Totally.
So the new special, Legalize Everything,
Yes.
already making a few waves with this the joke about cops, which is
I wrote that joke 15 years ago, and thank God I waited a decade and a half to release it the day Cops gets canceled after 33 years. It's like, all going according to my plan that I never came up with.
Serendipity, man. I mean, it's huge, and I love the fact that some people pressured you to take it out, and you were like, "Fuck out of here, get out of here." That's crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't pressure to take it out. It was just like they were like, "Are you going to keep that shit?" Or and I was like, "Yes, this is like the best time." Or like, should we go forward with this? It was like, yes, this is the timing is impeccable. And then it was obvious and everybody came around.
I mean, I know the topic is touchy right now, but the actual...
Why?
Well, what's going on?
What's going on? I haven't read a newspaper in a while. What's going on out there?
The actual content of that joke, though, is pretty just like, it's like observational humor and funny. It's not like that crazy. It's just like...
Well, that's what my rebuttal was. I was like, it's really a joke about a reggae song more than anything else.
Right.
But
now a lot of stuff's making a lot of sense, by the way. You're just in that mode, huh?
What's that?
Now the pina colada stuff's making a lot of sense. Reggae and dancing and drinking. But I mean, yeah, that's great.
I'm so sad. All I said was to drink a Manhattan. I just like bourbon's the one spirit that I'm like, I don't know, fucking throw vermouth and an ice cube in it.
But that's actually also perfect for like I basically just drink it on the rocks, or I'll do it
bourbon. I don't know, just drink it up, put ginger ale in it. I don't know, fucking.
I had one the other day.
I Boulevard. It's all bourbon is like vermouth. That's the only thing people put in it. Vermouth, Campari. Sorry, we can go back to politics. Cops, bad boys. What you want? What you gonna do?
It's a great song. It's a fucking great song, to be honest.
Killer song. Bang, gum, boyo.
Oh shit!
These guys have been making a sweet paycheck over the 33 years.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Bad Company or something? Inner Circle.
It's a long ass.
That's a real song.
Yeah, it's a song with a real band.
So you think they're pumped about that? They must because of the paycheck. But like sometimes you gotta be known for your art, right? Like that was a song. I
think they broke up like a year after that song came out. Like they like formed in 1988, then they disbanded in 1989. I doubt they're still a band. You know how hard it is to keep a band together? It's a nightmare.
You have trouble with that with like your writing crew? Do writing crews have the same environment that a band does?
Yeah, everything's a relationship. You know, you have good days and bad days. It's like being in a band or any working relationship. Being in a band is like, it's like having 5 girlfriends, and and each one has their own personality, and you got to figure out. You know, it's all everything's a relationship. You know, there's a work relationship, there's a friend relationship, there's every type of relationship has its drama.
I feel like the comedy world as a whole has like a band vibe, but where everyone's also a solo artist. Yeah. I feel like there's so much like.
I guess it's about. I mean, stand-ups, yeah, but you know, there's sketch groups and there's like whatever, writing groups and
some other shit, whatever, dude.
Other bullshit.
Podcasts, a lot of those.
Yeah, a lot of fucking
whiskey in you.
Yo, when was the time you thought you were the closest to death doing one? Because we read, obviously, in Bad Trip, you have quite the story where you almost killed.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, that's my only. That's the closest I've been to death.
Real more than when you were on stage with fucking what's his tits?
Alex Jones. Oh Alex Jones. That's up there. But no weapon was brandished in that scenario with Alex Jones.
What do you do in that moment when this guy pulls out a fucking gun?
Well, he pulled out a knife. He was looking for his gun, and he pulled out his knife. So we had our dick stuck in a Chinese finger trap. We went into the hood. We went to this hood-ass barbershop. The dude looked for his gun. He was like, fuck, get the fuck out of here! Because we're like, sir, can you get our dicks out of this penis trap? And then we were stretching our dicks back and forth.
Are we going actual dick or prosthetic?
Yeah, did you really do that?
No, it's a prosthetic. It's a realistic looking prosthetic so that we can stretch it like a mile. I want to be able to do that with my real dick. But he pulled out a knife and he chased us, and we could barely run in that contraption. We're like, ah! It's a fucking nightmare.
See, that's what I mean. Like, if anybody at Barstool ever came to me and was like, I got this idea. You and John are going to go out with your dicks in a finger trap. I'd be like, no, that's fucking stupid. But then you
want security. You want to like run that bit through your legal department, and you want security with you like on the sidelines. So I would suggest that.
What if Chinese finger trap dick pranks are on the table? What's off the table? What do you say no to?
You do. I think there's good bad taste and there's bad taste, and you try to just like hunt for the good bad taste. It's case by case, and I don't know. You just got to trust your instinct.
An example of recently somebody threw at you that you were like, no fucking way.
No, I'm usually lobbing out the bad ideas. It's usually my director being like, "That's a bad idea." Please. I had a bit. I wanted to do a hidden camera bit where I had like all four. My arms and legs were broken, and I was in a wheelchair, and then I was going to wheelchair down an escalator, like hand over feet, like at the ball, and be like, ah. And my stunt coordinator and my director were like, no, don't do that. You'll like really be like incapacitated. You'll need that wheelchair at the end of the.
How many times you ended up in a hospital?
I ended up in the hospital this season of Eric Andre's show because John Cena threw me through a shelf, which was fine. But then the shelf had a metal frame and it fell over and it clocked me right in the head and I got a concussion. I was like total like Tweety Bird. So I had to go get a CAT scan in my brain. Yeah.
For the love of the game, dude. Go out there and
the love of the game. John Cena felt so bad. It wasn't his fault. It was like he did the stunt perfectly. It just like the thing fell down on my head. And he still checks in with me like, how's your brain?
He is like the #1 Make-A-Wish guy, right? He has like the Guinness World Record for most Make-A-Wishes.
I'm not surprised by that at all. He is such a sweetheart. He's like a gigantic teddy bear.
He's just trying to see if he's going to put you on the list soon.
Hopefully, maybe. We're going to be fucking hospital bound. Yeah, that was rough. Season 4, I put my hand through glass and had to get stitches. It's rough.
When was season 4? Like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, well, we took 3 years off to make the movie. So
right.
So it's like season 4. The movie took forever. Then we just filmed season 5. We're almost done with it. This is going to come out at the end of the year.
I thought you took it off just because like people were too hot to you, kind of deal.
No, I just like gained 20 pounds and got rid of all my body hair, and that solved the problem.
And I think it was after I think it was the Chinese finger trap that your co-host was like, or your co-star was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, Rel, yeah, that was the first day of filming, and he was like, I'm done. I quit. I'm not doing this. This is a nightmare. I have kids. I don't want to die. And I was like, no, that was great footage, though, man. You got to see it in the editing bay, man. And he was like, so he almost quit, but we won him back, and we finished the movie.
When you're choosing pranks, do you choose like who your star? Are you like, all right, this star would work better, or this person would work better with me?
We created the character. His name is Bud in the movie. We created the character first, and we watched a million audition tapes. And Rel right away was the first person we saw. We unanimously were like, "He's the one." It was like very clear he was the right person. And then I'll tell you this: Tiffany Haddish wasn't in the movie originally. We had this woman who was her name is Kia. She was a female wrestler, like a WWE kind of wrestler. And she had to drop out because of she's on Glow. She had to drop out because of her schedule. And then when the knife got pulled out on us and Rel almost quit, he's friends with Tiffany. So he called Tiffany Haddish and he was like, dude, Eric Andre almost got me killed. I don't want to do this fucking movie anymore. This shit is dangerous. This is insane. And she was dying laughing and called me 5 minutes after that phone call with Rel and goes, she went, yo, Eric, you almost got Rel killed? I was like, yeah. And she goes, dude, I want to do your movie. I love that shit. I was like, what? Really? Like, so totally like from the universe. She like the one woman dropped out and she came in and she's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it.
That's awesome.
If you're
Yeah,
gonna
she was like thrilled that we're getting like knives pulled out on us. She was like, that's awesome. I love doing prank shit. So,
Has there ever been any plans for like, or has it already happened? Is there any Eric Andre, Sacha Baron Cohen, Johnny Knoxville, whoever else you put in that pantheon? Have you guys ever collabed or thought about it?
oh
Or
man,
is it too much
I would love to. I'm buddies with those guys.
Is that who you think of, by the way? Like what your other, your contemporaries who kind of do it on your level? Is it those guys?
Yeah, well, I grew up on them. They were like Jackass came out when I was in 12th grade, and Ollie G Show came out when I was in college. So I just like watched every episode over and over and over again. Those guys are like my mentors because of the forefathers of pranks, and they're much more brave than me. Like
College, by the way,
I don't fuck with bulls. Like I would never fuck with a bull.
Yeah. That's
Sharp
just
horns, 2 tons coming at you. Fuck that.
Yeah. I didn't know you were a Berkley guy until today.
Yeah. Wasted a lot of money.
Wait.
Wasted a lot of money. You want to see my bass? Here, this is what I wasted 4 years of music school on. Can you see that down there?
oh my God.
Yeah.
You really wasted it because that's actually a cello.
This is a bass. A cello's smaller. Get it right or pay the price.
I think everybody.
I played Mary Had a Little Lamb over and over again.
I mean, everybody kind of jokes like, "Oh, I wasted money in college." You fucking wasted money in college.
Wasted money in college. I mean, this is useless. The thing is,
it's like, yeah, man, I play the bass, but I fake puke and then eat the fake puke for a living.
it prepared me for the fake puke eating.
You said, I think it was, I was reading an old interview with you in Esquire, I think, where you were saying that like jazz prepared you for something like this. Or maybe the interviewer posed that to you, but you were kind of just like, yeah, you got to be a little crazy to do jazz music. And that's kind of the life I've gone into.
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right. Whatever I said in that interview sounds a lot more. I made a lot more. I was a lot less drunk in those days. So, repost that interview. Tweet it out.
Everything's out now. Is it easier? Like, are you a little more when you're just on stage and you write your material and you're telling jokes and you don't have to worry about concussions and knives and all that shit? Is it less stressful, or is it?
I think stand-up's harder. Stand-up's harder than that shit. Yeah, right. It's like prank jokes are actually like better if they're simplistic. But stand-up, it really had to, for it to work night after night after night, it really has to be like something great. It's hard. I think stand-up's hard. So I don't know. They all have their own challenges, but yeah, they all take a tremendous amount of work.
Well, we thank you for the time. Everyone should go watch the special on Netflix, Legalize Everything. You are one of a kind, brother. So
thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Stay safe, dude.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you very much, man.
Thanks, y'all.
Enjoy those pina coladas.
Sounds good.
Later. Ciao.